Welcome back to the Verge Studios for another episode of Pardon Our Promotion. How's everybody doing today?
Spectacular.
Great. What do you want to talk about? What do you think?
Sometimes we pre-plan it and we seem so very knowledgeable. I'm going to throw one out that's spontaneous. How about we talk about teams that they kind of afterthought their pregame and in-game entertainment for their groups. You know, what I mean by that is a group guy will be like, hey, I just talked to whatever high school and they asked if their band could come out and play pregame, the national anthem or whatever, or play something pregame. And then they go to the production, you guys and producers go, and you find a slot for them. Yeah, we can fit them in right here. The best way to do it is the opposite way, right? We find the slots, we engage group and ticketing sales to fill the slots with entertainers, right? And again, at a higher level, a culture change. So on one side, it's reactionary. On the other way, it's diligent and planned, right? So I want to discuss those differences and how teams can better use the people throughout their community.
So really what you're saying is make them part of your show. Make these group, whether it's a dance team or a performance or a parade or some kind of feature, this group sales element, make them part of your show as opposed to just being told that they're here and they're going to fit them in.
And leverage that. Leverage the talent of the people throughout the community and the surrounding communities. Because a team can only do so much with the resources they have. Mm-hmm. And there's wonderfully talented people or different things for people to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That they leverage into their show. It makes the show more entertaining. And it does one other thing. It brings those people in that might not have ever gone in. Again, on one side, it's reactionary. Hey, they're coming anyhow. I just sold this group. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And those tickets, we already cashed that check.
Yeah.
The other way is we're reaching out to the community to say, would you like to be part of our show?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And now they start saying, well, Jesus, if the 7 of us are going, maybe our friends will want to come too, right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is when that happens, when a group sales guy comes to me or gal comes to me and says, I've got these people, where can we put them in the show? It's like we're selling something that doesn't exist almost, but what we do by making it part of our show, by scripting that, by creating that feature before the sales process even began, is we're giving the sales team a clear idea of what they need to sell, a clear element of opportunity that they can sell. And if you have a bunch of those throughout the show, well, yes, your sales are going to go up. Everything's going to benefit from this just additional group that we scripted and made part of our show. Everything's going to be planned. Your chances are they're going to have more time to sell the tickets because their group leader, whomever, has been working with us and identified and dialed into a certain element in that show already planned out, as opposed to us just coming up with something on the fly.
On the fly.
Yeah.
Yep. So
it's a win-win-win for everyone because it's a win for your group sales because now they have, like you said, this whole nother element that they can sell, whole nother approach. It's a win for your entertainment of your show because now, these groups are paying to come and perform for you.
Right.
And it's a win for the group in itself because now, first of all, that's just a really cool thing for any of, like a dance team to come out and perform. That's a cool thing for them. So everyone's winning and it seems like such a general, everyone's doing this or everyone would be doing this, but so many
don't. They kind of, again, they don't make it part of their culture at a deeper level. Mm-hmm. When I first started consulting, it took a long time for me to say, everything is producible. Everything is an element that you can enhance day after day, because again, they were just kind of throwing it together. Mm-hmm. And I just got to get to the first pitch or the puck drop. So they're kind of just throwing together a pregame instead of going, boy, if I'm producing the Oscars and I have to fill an hour of content, how am I going to do it, right? So going back to our offices were Visual and Virtual in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's home of the lacrosse Loggers with that team, and they do a really nice job of their entertainment there. Misty's Dance Studio is one of the dance studios, the Lacrosse Dance Studios, another one here in town, that do very good performances, and they have a large base of performers. So I'm gonna go all over the place, but you can have Misty's Dance Studio go to Lacrosse Loggers, and the group salesperson says, "You got 15 minutes pregame." Oh, great. Okay, so Misty's Dance Studio is out pregame at Lacrosse for 15 straight minutes. As much as those performers are great, they're going to lose their fans.
Long time.
When you're producing the Oscars and you got somebody huge on, or the Grammys, and it's like the Rolling Stones are on, yeah, we're going to give the Rolling Stones 15 minutes. Nope, you're not. They're getting one song, right? So, and that's what, it's hard for a group salesperson because he's writing, Misty's is bringing a big group or whatever to say, no, you can't have 15 minutes. So what you were talking about, that sponsorship thing, is we sell now to, I'm using Lacrosse as an example. Quick Trip is a big chain here of gas stations and convenience stores, right? So it's the Quick Trip Shining Stars moment. Mm-hmm. It's a sponsorable piece of inventory. We have 5 of them pregame. So Misty's might, if they have a big enough group and they have multiple things, we give them slot 1, 3, and 5. And they're on and off and on and off. And in between, we got something, a juggler or something else, kids' batons or a marching band or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
That's how you produce it, right? That's how you script it so it's effective for Misty's, for the fans, for the sponsor. You make it a real nice element.
And this is a really good way for producers to effectively fill their show. There's only so many ideas that someone can come up with for a show, and then their brain's tapped out. This aids in that process. It relies on other people to help execute the element other than game day staff, and people that are excited to do it. You don't always get the same response you would from a game day staff, but these dancers, if it's a group of dancers, this is like a shining moment. This is their time to be featured. They're excited for this, and it's unique for them. Whereas some of our other acts and some of our other talent might, this might be run of the mill, and it, might be old hat.
Right.
When fans are watching that experience happen for them, it also does something inside of them and makes them feel good too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole experience is brought up.
And you're showcasing your community.
Right.
Your local community. Just, somebody in the stands might be like, oh, well, my 5-year-old daughter was wanting to take dance class. Now I'm going to go to Misty's and see what they have to offer. So it's just this like nonstop win for everyone involved.
Now let's talk about sowing before you reap and how this works, because some teams, again, are reactionary. I got a dance line. What do we do? Some teams are like, oh, well, now we got 3 things. This is planning the pregame in the off season. In December, for like you guys, we talked on an earlier episode, you guys already have the scripts done for teams in April, and you did them in December. So all of that scripting, the spots where entertainment gets plugged into the pregame is already done. Whether we have a sponsor or not, whether we have a dance slide or not, we are going to fill that spot. Mm-hmm. We are going to entertain in this hole. Then we're going to take essentially a commercial break and shoot some fun promo video, something else to adjust the cameras, and then we're going to produce this. Mm-hmm. And so if we create the holes, then the sponsors come. Then the sponsorship sales department can sell it because it's a package that they understand, that they can take to Quick Trip and say, look, you've got the pregame. It's the Home Depot pregame show featuring the Quick Trip Shining Stars, whatever it is. It's all set for them to be able to sell. And it's also that the group sales department's go, I got to fill that hole. What other things can we talked about Misty's Dance Studio, Lacrosse Dance Studio, and those type of things, but what else do we put into those holes? What other?
I mean, we could even take, like an experience or a feature that group sales is selling that isn't part of the runtime of the show, meaning maybe it's a press box experience or control room experience or a clubhouse experience where you get to go behind the scenes, meet a player, meet a coach, meet the control room staff. That can be video content that we can then take to the board during the
30
show.
30 seconds.
Yes.
And it's wonderfully enhancing to the show. And of course, again, the parents, the relatives are like, oh my goodness, little Joe Lang is on the video board. I've made I just on the last podcast, I was thinking I'm going to start dropping names of our employees into all of our podcasts. And Uncle Joe Lang, as we call him, is the first one I dropped in. So anyhow, yeah, little Joe Lang's on a video board. They take pictures of it. It's exciting for Joe Lang. It's exciting for the parents and all that because that person's on, only for a small snippet. Corvette clubs, right? They don't have to be on the video board for more than 30 seconds, but they get onto the playing surface of whatever it is. They're hanging out. They're just another part of the three-ring circus. And then there's a little interview. On-field host walks up to the first Corvette person. Hey, what's going on? This is our club. We've been in, for 35 years, we've been a Corvette club, whatever. 30 seconds of love on the video board, and it's part of the whole pregame thing. And guess what? Those Corvette people bought, 50 tickets.
Right.
Or whatever. And they enhanced the show.
And then you have another element of your show that you can add on to. So now you have this whole, you have a Corvette, you have cars. So now you can play off of that for different on-field elements. You can play off of the car theme almost in other aspects of your show. So we're always looking for more ways to add entertainment and those little things like having a Corvette club. So you now have a car theme. So you can play off of that.
And teams, I think some group sales departments actually don't dig deep enough into those clubs, and we talked about Misty's Dance Studio. Well, Misty's and again lacrosse. I got to give the Lacrosse Dance Studio equal love because they're both in my hometown here. And I apologize if I'm missing another dance studio. The fact is they got multiple ages, multiple classes. So if you really want to deep dive it, literally Misty's could be, and between those two, they could fill the entire Lacrosse Loggers pregame schedule.
Sure.
One night it's the 9th graders, one night it's the 7th graders, one night it's the 3rd graders, and it's jazz, it's tap, it's, they have so many different things. And the same with the car clubs. There are numerous car clubs and bike clubs of different types. So every night you could have some sort of automobile type engine-driven thing on a field at the Lacrosse Loggers. So, and every one of those things are like that. You call a high school. Who was your state champions last year? Who was your regional champion? We want to honor. It's the local honorary sports champion segment. Who did your band go to state? Did your forensics team go to state? Right down the line. Literally, it's one phone call to the front office of the local high school to find out all the different things that you could honor that high school for on the playing surface, and how many high schools are around?
Right. Yeah.
So every night there could be 10 people getting their 30 seconds of fame.
And then those are tickets.
And that's 30, 40 tickets.
Yep.
And then you could also add another layer of fundraising because these clubs and these organizations and these dance studios, they're always looking for ways to fundraise. So you can add on top of it, hey, we're going to be here, we're going to be performing tonight. Here are, you can buy these tickets for this amount of money and however your organization does your fundraising. But then have them come out that night. So now you have Misty's Dance Studio performing and the crowd is filled with all of these fundraising tickets.
Yeah, they're 50-50 or whatever they're doing. So, and we're not saying anything the teams don't do because you'd be like, oh, we already do that.
Right.
But do you plan it? Is it part of your culture?
Right.
Is it actually in the script that's a sponsorable set element? That's different than reacting. Like when we first started this thing. Oh, yeah, we've done that where we've had somebody out for a, but not, do you have it every night? Is it something that you have to schedule?
Yep.
So when you look down the road and you're 2 weeks out and you're like, well, I got a hole to fill.
Yep.
In our pregame, we got to find somebody to fill that hole. The invitation goes out. And that's the other piece about that. We're inviting people to help with our show. We're not calling and saying, you want to buy some tickets?
Right.
We're inviting your forensics team out to be our and literally you don't have to do much more than invite them. They'll buy their own tickets.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think the key is planning it as part of the show because it just provides more direction for who's ever out there selling the group sales. A sales level employee is going to appreciate a planned element that they know they have to fill, that's written down. It's not just an idea of something that could happen during the game. This is going to happen. So let's fill it. It helps them understand how the execution is going to happen and what the experience is really like.
Yeah, it's easier for the salesperson to
Yeah.
talk about the product too. It's
It's an easier sell.
it's an easier sell. It isn't even a sell.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation that turns into ticket sales and entertainment
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you said the key was that, but also the key is that culture and just kind of mindset shift in your sales team. Because if you go down the list of groups from the 2022 season of a team, you can find endless amounts of entertainment opportunities, but your sales team has to have that mindset shift of, okay, we're having this team out, they can do this too.
Right.
And I think having that shift is what really changes the culture of your front office.
And what I really liked is one time, and we can wrap it up with this, is I had an element planned, a dance team that didn't get sold. So I made our game day staff dance. do their own element, their own performance. They weren't prepared for it, which made it hilarious.
I bet it did.
The sales team. Oh, you didn't sell it?
Right.
All right, group sales.
That'll motivate
You're
them.
on. I bet they won't ever not sell it again.
So plan group performances in your show. Bottom line, helps the entire process. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on some additional topics you want to discuss, or just have a question in general, drop us a line, drop us a note, send us an email. We love them. Until next time, guys, it's all about your fans. We'll see you later.
See ya.